Barack Obama's stance on Israel caused major problems for him among some Jewish voters, and their concern with the presidential hopeful doesn't come as a surprise, considering his relationship with a man who has ties to the former terrorist organization, the Palestinian Liberation Organization.
Senator Barack Obama, with his occasional American flag pin on his lapel, spoke in front of Jewish voters at a synagogue in Florida. He wanted to reassure them of his personal commitment to Israel, but his loyalty was quickly called into question.
You also characterized that you and your wife's personal relationship with Rashid Khalidi, an avowed anti-Israel scholar at Columbia.
You mentioned Rashid Khalidi, who's a professor at Columbia. I do know him because he taught at the University of Chicago, and he is Palestinian. And I do know him, and I have had conversations. He is not one of my advisors. He's not one of my foreign policy people. His kids went to the lab school, where my kids go as well. He is a respected scholar, although he vehemently disagrees with a lot of Israel policy.
As another radical relationship comes to light, Senator Obama is minimizing his association with Rashid Khalidi, an allegedly former member of a terror organization.
Rashid Khalidi today is a professor at Columbia, earlier was professor at the University of Chicago, but before that he was an employee of the Palestinian Liberation Organization. And he was an employee of the PLO back when it was a designated terrorist organization. In 1982, the New York Times referred to him in an article on June 9th of that year as director of the Palestinian News Press Agency. And other references subsequent suggest that he was an employee of the PLO at a time when the PLO was, as I say, a designated terrorist organization by the U.S. government.
Today, Rashid Khalidi is the head of the Middle East program at Columbia University. Not surprisingly, he helped coordinate Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's speech at the school, who said Israel should be wiped off the map. The Palestinian activist is an outspoken critic of the United States who mourns the establishment of Israel as a, quote, catastrophe.
He has justified terrorism by Palestinians against Israeli soldiers in the West Bank on the grounds that what he called resistance to occupation is legitimate in international law, unquote. In other words, terrorism okay if it's against soldiers.
Daniel Pipe says a financial web connects Senator Obama to the former PLO agent.
It's also clear from the record that they had a financial connection and that Obama sat on the board of a foundation, the Wood Fund, that gave money in 2 successive years, 2001, 2002, to an organization, the Arab American Action Network, that Rashid Khalidi co-founded and his wife directed. And the other direction, Khalidi held a fundraiser, a political fundraiser for Barack Obama in 2000. So they were helping each other financially.
The foundation that Pipes referred to is the Chicago-based Woods Fund that both Obama and the unrepentant terrorist William Ayers co-chaired. Incidentally, Khalidi thanks Ayers in his book, Resurrecting Empire, saying that Bill was particularly generous in letting me use his family's dining room table to do some of the writing for the project. Ayers and Obama reportedly approved $70,000 to Khalidi's Arab organization.
I think the financial relationship between Khalidi and Obama is important because it points to their relationship not just being social, intellectual, but having a deeper base. That they are people who are working together towards the same end.
In 2003, Barack Obama held a lavish farewell dinner for Khalidi before he left for Columbia University. The Los Angeles Times reported on the event in April of this year. The headline, Allies of Palestinians See a Friend in Obama. Here's what the paper said, quote, a special tribute came from Khalidi's friend and frequent dinner companion, the young state senator Barack Obama. Speaking to the crowd, Obama reminisced about meals prepared by Khalidi's wife, Mona, and conversations that had challenged his thinking. That night, Obama said his conversations with the Khalidis served as, quote, consistent reminders to me of my own blind spots and my own biases. It is for that reason that I'm hoping that for many years to come, we continue that conversation, a conversation that is necessary not just around Mona and Rashid's dinner table, but around the entire world, unquote. The Nation magazine published an opinion piece by Khalidi titled Palestine, Liberation Deferred. The piece opens with Khalidi characterizing the Palestinian question as a, quote, running sore, 5 days after, in the Atlantic magazine, Senator Obama responded in a similar manner, saying, quote, "This constant sword does infect all of our foreign policy." Coincidence? Or is Khalidi influencing Obama's Middle East talking points? Khalidi went on to suggest in his piece that Israel carried out ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. Hannity's America reached out to both Rashid Khalidi and Barack Obama. Both declined our request for comments.
But as Barack Obama continues to grapple with his foreign policy vision, Jewish voters, like the gentleman you heard from earlier, are clearly concerned about the presidential candidate, as well they should be. After all, Obama's relationships with these types of people has even brought in support from terrorist organizations like Hamas. Hamas is an outspoken enemy of Israel's and has been very vocal about seeing Israel come to an end. In an interview earlier this year, Ahmed Youssef, chief political advisor to the prime minister of Hamas, said, quote, "We like Mr. Obama, and we hope that he'll win the election. Why? He has a vision to change America." But if Obama has a vision to change America the way Hamas thinks is good, we all have something to worry about. And coming up, Barack Obama's earliest work experience was with an organization considered to be the largest radical group in America. We'll tell you who they are and what he did for them coming up right after the break.